Hello YouTube. Today we are doing a axle seal on a 2003 Chevy Trailblazer. The seal that we did was right there on the diff side of the truck. Disassembly process, you have to at least take your lower tie rod off. You have to disassemble this link right here, your sway bar link, which is right there, to enable to get your CV axle out. As you can see here, see we took that apart because it allows this knuckle to move. And then when you get ready to pull your CV axle, you need to take we took this pry bar here and you put it in that groove right there
at a long angle,
at about a long angle, and then you hit it. As you can see, there's that's the angle you put it at. On mine, people say that this C-clip stays in the diff, but in my case, mine came out with the axle. That is good. The tools that we used to pull the seal was a universal seal puller. You put the groove inside the axle there, or the seal, and you use a 3/8 inch drive and pry on it. This here is a dealer only part, GM part number. This is the new seal here. Make sure you leave these on there because this is what holds your bearing in. Then we are going over here to a universal seal puller here, or a seal driver kit, and I'd recommend having this because it makes things a hell of a lot easier. As you can see here, there is a very, very, very tight space here to work with as far as getting everything in and out and everything like that. I'd recommend draining your diff before doing this, which is right there. You'll see there's your drain plug, and then that's pretty much what it looks like. The big round rusted bolt on the left is your, as you can see where that light's pointing, that's your fill plug. Takes 2 quarts of diff fluid, and this is the diff fluid that they recommend, is 75/90. You can use any, but I prefer Lucas. Synthetic. Make sure it's synthetic. And we'll but as far as that, you just got to make sure that you can get into that groove right there. Make sure you lock it in 4-wheel drive so it locks your diff together. And it helps you to remove the axle a lot better. So that is pretty much all we had to do to remove it. So any questions, any comments?
Tell them how to knock off the tie rod.
Anything like that. One thing that I'd recommend is when you knock your tie rod off, you take this castle nut and you make it flush with the top of the bolt, and then you use your rubber mallet just to knock it out, or your steel hammer. Good guy. And then what I'd also recommend is your pinch bolt up there for your upper control arm. Just loosen it up to where it gives you, freedom to move your knuckle, your steering knuckle, when needed.
You have to pull the upper control arm off of the steering knuckle.
You have to pull your upper control arm off. Make sure you unbolt your brake line and your ABS line so you have room to move the knuckle around, because you don't want to damage these, because they are attached to the bearing, and in order to replace them you have to replace the whole bearing. So as you can see, that's again what it looks like in there. Driver's side's easier to pull than the passenger side, because the passenger side's the way GM designed these vehicles, the passenger side's dry. All that's in there is grease. The driver's side, on the other hand, is lubed by the diff oil. But in my case, my seal was leaking on my diff, and it was dumping, I'd say, maybe half a cup a day. And so I would just as I said, I'd recommend changing it if you notice any leaking. How I found mine out was I was changing I was doing my annual service, you know, transfer case, transmission, diff, and my diff was almost dry. So, as I said, that was pretty much all it took to get it out. I will come back with video on after it's assembled just to kind of give you an idea on what it looks like. Okay guys, thanks.